I need to do both those things apparently. It's what's So I brought T up here because I want to talk about planting seeds real quick. What did you say, about a year and a half ago? When you picked it? A little over a year ago. So when COVID happened, TR and his family, right before COVID happened, TR and his family, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if it's wrong, but they invested a lot of money into that creamery that you all saw when you all drove in. A lot of money. And then COVID happened. And everything got shut down. Creamery wasn't making any money. It's just slow. Right? So TR was presented, TR and his family was presented with a couple different seeds. You had a seed of quitting, of despair, of fear, and giving up. And then you had another seed of hope, of faith, of trust, perseverance. And one seed was from an obvious source, and the other seed was from another source. And often, so I'm just going to say, TR was not a social media guy. He was a farmer. I don't even think he's still that great at social media guy. He tells me all the time, like, I don't know, like his Instagram account, you guys should go help him out. What's your Instagram account? I don't even know. Do you see? Do you see? So this is a perfect setup for this, because it's the seed that God that planted, that gave TR to plant, was a silly little app called TikTok. An app. And see, often when God taps you on your shoulder, when He gives you that seed, He gives you your calling or your purpose. Often people think that it's an easy choice. It's going to be roses. It's going to be a happy thing. It's going to be obvious. But often, I'd say 9 times out of 10, it might look silly. It's going to get you out of your comfort zone. It's going to get you out of your comfort zone. It's going to look scary. And it's hard to make that choice, that step, but in a way, that's what I know how silly this sounds, but TR picked up an app and said, maybe there's some way we could tell our story. And I remember when I first found TR's TikTok, someone tagged me in it, and he was talking to his cow. That's Red. Give it up for Red. So here he was. First he started off with a silly app, and then he started talking to his cow. You know God was all over this.
It's either that or I'm insane at some point.
Well, we know you were insane. We know God was on it, because that's why we're all standing here right now, right? So TR took that seed and he planted it. There was tough times, right? Where you want to just hang it up, like it ain't gonna work, right? And it reminds me of the story of Peter in the boat, and how when he was in the boat with the disciples and Jesus came walking out on water, it was a scary situation. At first they thought he was a serpent when he was walking out on water. It was a scary situation. And often, like I said, when God presents something, it's often scary to you. So it takes a lot of trust, a lot of faith to make that step. So Peter stepped out the boat and he started to walk on water. And what happened is the wind started swirling, the storm picked up, the seas raged, and then he took his eyes off Jesus. And he went below the water. But what happened? That's right. So, tying that into TR's story real quick, remember talking to TR. He called me up. He said, "Man, I don't know how to do this anymore. I don't know if this is all worth it." And so this was the moment, I think, that in the moment I remember, if you remember this conversation where you're about to just kind of cash it in. This ain't working out. Talking to the cow on social media ain't working. So in that moment, he took his eyes off of him and why he got out that boat in the first place. And so he circled out, and TR didn't give up. He planted that seed. He watered that seed. That is why we're all sitting here right now, right? We're all sitting here because of an app. For the majority, right? Right? Because TR chose to plant the right seed. Right? You did. You did. Don't just share nothing. You chose to plant the right seed. That's why I'm here. That's why y'all here. Yeah? That's right.
Oh yeah. And I mean, the thing about it is look at what God has taken for something so small and so minute as an app called TikTok, and has brought you guys here today to witness something so amazing in a time where there's so much division, so much stuff that's just going on. But also I want to talk about planting the seed. See, there's a difference between planting and burying your seed. See, if you plant your seed, how many of you need something to happen in your life today? You need something to change. Raise your hand. Good bit of you. Here's what you need to do. You need to plant that seed of faith. Don't bury it. Because if you bury it,